What?
If you ain't stewing, what the hell are you doing?
Exactly. Say that. Say that. Yeah. You've been waiting a long time to say that, huh?
Man, years to say that. Years to say that.
Appreciate it, bruh. Appreciate it.
It is an honor to have you here. For those that don't know, we gave him a little bit of background. Like we said, Doug Stewart, Doug and his brother, you may know them from their fame of the Two Live Stews. They also were former ESPN analysts. They used to kick my man's butt. What's his name?
Skip Bayless.
Skip Bayless.
Yeah.
It was Skip Bayless's butt across the airwaves like a rock on water.
Kicked his butt so bad they told us to stop coming. True story. True story.
So you know what? It's funny you should open up about that because you guys were so impactful. Now, I told people in my former life I used to be a truck driver.
Uh-huh.
And that's why I first, engaged with you guys. I first heard about you, and you carried me and literally thousands of other men across the country listening to you, and that's why I first, found out about you. And you all took off like wildfire. Like you just killed it. So all of a sudden you were everywhere. Like if you guys can go back to the listeners, you look back on my Facebook post, you can look back at 2009. I was putting Facebook posts up about you guys way back then.
Right.
I was barking, I was saying, you guys gotta get on that. So you guys were hot, you blew up, you were everywhere, and all of a sudden it was like, hey, wait a minute. Tuesdays, y'all not there.
Right, yeah.
What happened with that?
Well, I mean, all good things come to an end, I guess. We were on radio for over 12 years, started back in 2001. And, obviously great success, syndicated nationally for many, many years. Like you said, we were on ESPN for over 5 years as well. We had done a bunch of big things, but as it happens in business, politics come into play, I believe. And there's a lot of reasons on why, we aren't at the level we were at before. But the main reason is new management came in, the company was bought, new management came in, and when new management comes in, you've been around, you've been in a corporate setting, you know how it is. It's all about cutting the bottom line, and one of the easiest ways to cut bottom line was with the dudes that were making a lot of money. and so in effect that was it. Station has since gone out of business, but in the meantime, me and my brother, this was back in 2012. My brother calls himself retired. He played in the NFL, made a lot of money. Obviously we made very good money doing radio for so many years. So he calls himself retired, and me, not so much. And so I love doing radio. I love doing my own thing. I love having not having a filter and doing the show the way that I want. And so I'm fine. We're blessed and highly favored. We always say that, man. And if you listen to my show Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., you hear the real Two Live Stews, which was the thing that separated us from everybody else. Is we gave honest barbershop, under the shade tree in the basement opinions, like your boys would have. And so that's the thing that kind of separated us, man. But once again, I tell people all the time, even Martin came to an end, And so I remember when we first started, man, it was like after the first couple of months, we had a lot of haters. First couple of months, they won't be around long. They're 15 minutes of fame. And then those same people were saying that after a year. And then they were saying the same thing after 2 years and 3 years and 5 years and 7, 8, 9, 10 years. So once again, we were blessed, man, and it is what it is, and we're very blessed once again and happy to be alive and still doing the things that we love. Me and my brother still talk trash to each other. We just not getting paid for it.
Yes, and I tune in and check you guys out too and it is so great to hear that chemistry. The chemistry is just incredible. Even you by yourself, just hearing that, I think it's funny that you talk about the adversity, and if you would, we've been telling people that this is the unknown, the icon, and in that when you guys first started, you were unknowns.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And there were people sitting down. You like you said, you had your haters and you were chumming. How did you deal with people when you guys first started? And you're trying to break into this multi-billion-dollar industry, right?
Yeah.
And especially, let's just call a spade as African American men whose voices are really not heard in media the way it needs to be, especially in sports.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
How did you deal with that type of adversity? What was your anchor?
Well, I mean, we're pretty strong personalities in our own right. So self-esteem and confidence, we don't lack. Okay, simple as that. My brother played 5 years in the NFL. We both played football from the age of 7 all the way through high school and college. And once again, my brother played in the NFL. So we took the attitude of we're just going to be us at the very beginning. And, man, I could only start to tell you about the hate that we got from the public. You got to imagine this now. This is back in 2001. Before this time, before we came along, we had been told by Sports Illustrated and by ESPN there had never been an all-black sports talk radio show ever in the history of this country. And so, people always talked about us being, trendsetters and guys that broke the mold. And it's very gratifying to hear that type of thing. So we had a lot of haters, man. But once again, we never let it bother us. I'm going to tell you the honest truth, though. After a while, I stopped reading emails. Like when I opened up an email and I saw the direction it was going, I just stopped reading it. I stopped reading the blog posts where people, we always call it keyboard courage. People, people, are real tough online and posting on blogs and whatnot, but they would never say these things to your face. So at some point, I stopped reading the newspaper and the online blogs, man. And, from the very beginning, we said we were going to do a fun, entertaining show. At that time, everybody was on the internet. You could easily jump online and get all your stats. So we wanted to keep it entertaining, have fun, and basically make it like a barbershop type setting. And that's what we did. And lo and behold, after we did it, man, I'm telling you, everybody started. I guess the best way to put it is everybody saw that it was okay and that it was viable and that these companies would pay, these advertisers would pay for the way that we talked on air, even though it was AM radio. We made a huge wave, man, a huge wave in the industry. Super Bowls, prize fights in Las Vegas. Once again, ESPN. We had our own show on TV1 for a couple of years. So we had done a lot of big things, man, and it was tough from the very beginning, man. But once again, every year, every other month, we were supposed to be, done. We were the flavor of the month, and that would have been it. But that wasn't the case. Over 12 years and still rolling.
And still rolling. And still rolling. Well, you know what? I think it's funny that you should mention that you just turned it off. And that's the point. If you guys are listening out there, that's a note that you want to jot down. He said he just turned it off. And they walk with the confidence from the giddy up. Now that type of confidence that you guys have, obviously you've done some big things in the marketplace and been really powerful. Where did that come from? Where did that initial foundation come from? Was that something that came from your parents, or was that something that you guys just jived up? Just what?
Well, I mean, once again, I guess it's our personality. My father was the original trash talker, and I'm from the low country of South Carolina. We're from the low country of South Carolina, and people where we're from, man, we talk trash. We're very confident. We have we don't disrespect anybody. It's an attackful way. It's all based on the situation. But at the barbershop and once again with the boys, I mean, we talk smack with the best of them.
That's what I liked. That's what I liked about it. When I turned it on, it just jumped out of the speakers.
Right.
It was like, whoa, I gotta listen to these guys. Like literally, I would. This is a true story. Whenever I had a delivery that I had to make, right, and it had to deliver during the time that you guys were on air, it wasn't happening. I was.
Yeah, we've heard that story a lot. Yeah, we've heard that type of story a lot, man.
Yeah, man, real talk. I was like, no, I got to listen to everything they had, and you know, the way that you just presented it. Like I told you the first time that for you guys that don't know, Doug and I reached out to Doug actually online, and I was like, wow, surprised that you responded to my email. And what you didn't know, and I told you then, was that Doug really, it was both of you guys together, but your voice,
right?
The way that you used your voice and the way that you would just deliver your delivery on the microphone, man, that I keyed in on everything about that.
Right.
You know, and I like to say that you play a part in. I mean, I sound like you. You know what I'm saying? I don't look like you. We bald headed, right?
Right.
But that swagger,
Right.
that's contagious, and it really empowered me. In a really, truth be told, in a dark part of my life, it wasn't the best place that I was at.
Right.
But I pushed through and listened to you guys on the power. I mean, I went out and I spent. I went and got an XM radio just because.
Right.
Of you.
Yeah. A lot of people did. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to get this for one show, ridiculous. Then I put it in all my other cars. When you guys are gone, I was like, well, I don't need that anymore.
Right. Yeah, they lost a lot of subscriptions during that time when we were ousted.
Yeah.
We heard that story a lot, man. People got XM radio. We were on XM for many, many years. So yeah, we've heard that story, bro. We definitely heard that story.
So so we talked about the past and what happened with you guys, but now, like you said, you evolved. You never lowered your head. You kept moving forward, and now, as we see behind you in the banner, you got this big, bold, bright, the Doug Stewart Show.
Yeah.
What's this all about in the Stewart Media and Entertainment? What tell us a little bit about that.
Well, once again, I waited several years, almost close to 3 years, for the phone to ring. And it rang a couple times, but nothing really serious. And there's always this conversation about us being blackballed. I don't know anything about that. That's nothing that I could really prove. I don't like to believe and make excuses anyway. You know, it is what it is.
Right.
For whatever reason, man, we haven't gotten back on. And so it's been a little bit over a year. I was contacted by a young lady named Tree Taylor, and she had done some producing for online radio shows before in the past, and she said, you know what, you guys would be great to do a radio show. So I approached Ryan, an online radio show. I approached Ryan, and he, in effect, he's just had his third kid, and he says, you know, I'm done. I'm retired. You know, in effect, he doesn't want to do it. He didn't want to do it. Right. And so, once again, he played in the NFL, and I guess he invested his money well, so he's good. So I says, you know what, I'll do it on my own. And so the Doug Stewart Show started around September of 2014. We just crossed over the 1 year mark. Right now on the Spreaker platform, we have close to 10,000 followers to the show, which is huge for online radio. I can't even start to explain to you how huge that is. We've kind of cultivated it and flipped it to, we're trying to be our own network where we're broadcasting other shows on the network as well, like-minded type shows, like ideal type shows on the network. And so it's been a real struggle, very fulfilling, very rewarding too. And I see, like, I have this vision, and I really believe, and I tell people this all the time, in 5 years, like, all of our cars are going to have, you know, online capability, you know, USB capability. And right now I feel like that I'm at the forefront of what's to come. Celestial radio is great, and that's what everybody's used to right now. It's tough to get people to listen to online radio. But once again, 5 years, 10 years max, everybody, I mean, these cars are coming off the assembly line with this technology so that you can listen to radio on your phones. And, you know, it's a perfect combination. And so I believe what we're doing right now, man, is big. It gets bigger every single day. I'm my own boss. I'm able to, you know, once again, deliver the sports talk show that I think is viable and that's going to be big and that suits me and my personality the best. There's a fan base out there clearly with the success that we have, and we're just pushing forward, man, and it's been great. It's been great.
Well, I think it's awesome. I'm glad that you guys are back, and the fact that you are seeing that type of success, because that is monumental to have 10,000 followers in the online space in any capacity, especially for a sports talk show too.
Right, right.
That speaks volumes to you, and I'm excited about that. I'm happy for you about that. You realize it, but I think you really need to know. I'm one of these people who I've gone through my life, and because I've gone through these valleys, and I step out to speak. I believe that you have to give people credit, give their credit while they're alive. As they say, give people their flowers.
Right,
so,
right.
Man, straight up, I got to give you your flowers, man. I mean, you so many brothers. Don't tell the brothers that now. I ain't giving you no actual flowers. The brain
I got you.
Right? You have some of that.
I got you.
But you really did. I mean, when I look back on ESPN, and truth be told, I don't watch that much television anymore because I work in entertainment, I work in the online space, and I work in marketing that capacity. But I consider it the electronic income reducer.
Right, right.
And so the things that when I was in college, and through the years, there were two perennial people that stood out to me on television when it came to sports. Well, first of all, if you were, red-blooded American, you was turning on TV to see the highlights and all that. But the person who I loved, God rest his soul, was Stewart Scott.
Right, right.
It was you and Stewart Scott set a standard and impacted so many people, so many young African American men, and made us see that it can be done. It's possible.
Right, right.
And like I'm here right now because the future. You talked about the future. This right here, this is the future.
Yes.
And while we have had some struggles tonight, understand that technology is only going to get better.
Right, right, right.
And so you have to be in a position where you control your image.
Yes.
You control what you put out. You don't have to. And there starts the erosion of what's happening in the big conglomerates, if you will.
Right.
Like this is wide open, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. And a lot of people have taken notice. I mean, we got advertisers to the show. We got advertisers that are on term deals, where we're not just talking about today. We're talking about months at a time. And so once again, people see the viability of what we're doing. They know that it's a great product. Like my show, and anybody can listen to my show, and you can listen to the show for people watching this right now at thedougstewartshow.com, and you can go back and listen to any of the episodes that we've done for over the last 13, 14 months. The product that we put out online is as quality as anything that you hear on the biggest signaled radio station in the country. I mean, it's digital, and so it's not, bootleg like we say. It's not, half-ass product or anything like that, man. It's legit. Commercials, great production, sound quality. So, once again, the future, man, is right in front of us. And once again, I feel like that that my show is going to be one of those trendsetters going forward.
Absolutely, absolutely. So inside of the group, magneticnetworkinglive.com, you guys inside of the group, someone post up in there, www.thedougstewartshow.com. Did I say that right?
Yep, thedougstewartshow.com, exactly.
Post that up in there, thedougstewartshow.com. Make sure you go there. Also, look for the Doug Stewart. You don't have a Facebook page, do you?
Yeah, I do. It's actually Stewart Media and Entertainment. My personal page is, they only give you 5,000 friends. So everything.
Yo, only 5,000 friends.
man, I'm humble here, bro. I'm trying to be humble.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just glad you let me inside. I'm 4,993.
Right. So on Facebook, it's Stewart Media and Entertainment. On Instagram and on Twitter and on Periscope, all The Doug Stewart Show. All three of those at The Doug Stewart Show. And definitely check me out on Periscope as well.
So are you on Periscope as well? Okay.
Yes, I am. Love Periscope. That's next level too. Periscope has so many possibilities, man. we've just touched the surface on what that is. People don't know what Periscope is. Get down with Periscope.
Yeah, yeah. They had a. I was speaking to a young lady who's big on Periscope, Jay Stone.
Okay.
And you know Jay?
No, I don't know her.
Yeah, she was telling me that she works with Periscope, and she was doing. There's some big events that's happening in Atlanta. If in the area with Periscope, like people are really they got their own crowds, followings in the millions.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Good
It's
deal.
big. It's huge.
It's huge. So, guys, make sure inside the group you post it up and you follow Doug on all of his different platforms. And also, too, Doug, so I know you've got your media company. I understand that you are also you're housing people who have their own radio shows or want their own radio shows, correct?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Talk a little bit about
That's basically one of the services we're offering. We're basically selling airtime. Just like any conventional radio station. And so, if you have a good radio show, if you have a great podcast, but you don't have listeners, that's where we come in at, is we give you the opportunity to be heard from the very beginning, from day one. Once again, you may have one of the best shows out there, but getting the word out and letting people know about it and finding people to listen is the tough part. So with us, that's built in from the very rip. If you have a great show, we'll plug it in immediately following my show, kind of like a lead-in, and people will listen. If it's great, people will continue to listen, just like they do my show. So it's a great opportunity for people that have a podcast but don't have a following. I've been blessed to have a great following for so many years in media, and it served me well, and it's going to serve the people that broadcast their shows on my network well as well.
Okay, so I told you guys, if you stuck with us through the thick and thin, if you stuck through, it was going to get gooder and gooder and gooder.
Not gooder.
Life is about what? Windows
Yeah.
of opportunity. And Doug just laid out in front of all you guys an opportunity for those of you who have your podcast and nobody knows about you, who has your speaking and you're speaking and you want to reach more people. He just said you can go from being obscure and get up under his umbrella. Okay.
Right. Let me add something to that too, so that your listeners and viewers can know. Not only do we broadcast other podcasts on the network, we also do, in effect, infomercials, promotional interviews on the show. My show comes on live daily, Monday through Friday, for 2 hours each day. So we can interview you as well about whatever product you have, your company, your product, your brand, an event that you have coming up. We'll interview you live on my show. If it kind of ties in, and I'll make a way to make it to have it tie in. That's not a problem at all, because my show is not just about sports. It's entertainment. It's lifestyle, that type of thing. So we'll interview you on the show. We'll also give you a space on the network. If you go to StewartMediaAndEntertainment.com, it'll take you to my homepage on Spreaker, and you'll see other shows listed under the network. So, depending on the price, and there's a price for it, depending on the price, not only can we interview you, but we can house your show and the episode and the interview that we did with you on the network, so you can go back and listen to it going forward. You can point your fans or your customers, your prospective customers, to said interview, and it'll kind of give them an insight about what you have without even going into detail in person.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, I don't know who else is listening, but I'm listening and I'm taking all notes, so I will be in contact, Doug.
There it is. I love it.
So tell us this, because this is amazing, and I know there's somebody out there this is going to be a game changer. You're going to come back to this moment in time right here, right? And you're going to say you heard it right here on Unknown to Icon, that opportunity to change your life and your position. So Doug, so for them to get involved with that, what are the steps that they need to take to get in touch with you and your crew so they can then present themselves to you?
All they need to do to get it started, to initiate it, is to email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and that's DOUG, and my last name spelled Stewart. There's a couple ways to spell Stewart, but it's STEWART. So it's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Mention that you heard me on this broadcast, and we'll make it happen. We will make it happen. What we'll do at that point is we'll send you details of how it works, a rate sheet, and then at that point we'll get some information from you. We'll talk about some of the things we want to talk about. In effect, I'll interview you in advance, and then we'll do the interview live on my show, on the Doug Stewart Show.
There it is. There it is. Amazing, amazing opportunity. Well, man, I'm just so glad. You know, I can sit here and talk to you forever. You know, but I know that we're in different time zones. You're out there in Atlanta. I'm here in Texas, and you know, you got to get up tomorrow, and you got a full day. But I want to first just thank you for taking the time out to be on our little show to open up the doors. You truly are epitomize reaching back.
Yeah, yeah.
And giving those a platform. So I thank you for reaching back to me.
No problem, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, man. Definitely.
Appreciate it. Well, good deal. Sunita, you got any questions for Doug?
I think y'all covered the gamut. I'm so sure. We're going to let Doug go.
Doug, wait. No. Doug,
yes.
I told Sunita, I said, Sunita, you know, it's all about the dogs and poodles. And you know what she said?
What?
She said, I ain't no poodle. Sunita.
I told him I'll be a poodle for a day.
There we go. Yeah.
Jeez, other than that, I'm a pit bull in a skirt, but I'll be a poodle for a day.
Okay, there it is. I like that.
Well, good deal. Well, again, you know, thank you again for being on the show and taking the time out, and we definitely will support you. Everyone out there, make sure that you support Doug. You want to be inside of magneticnetworkinglive.com. If you got any questions, post them there. Doug is actually inside of the group. Is that right, Doug?
Yes, I am.
He's in the group. He'll like your stuff. He'll talk to you like you actually get an opportunity to meet with him. And before I let you go, I gotta say this. It's funny because so
you say you can talk to him all night now.
I can't.
It's all good. Go ahead, brother.
No, so this is what happened. So when I first talked to Doug, you know, I have to tell you, I was like this. You called me up, the phone was ringing. I was like, yeah, that's Doug Stewart. Yeah, I had it. But remember the first thing I told you? I came clean, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. Yeah. And trust me. I don't call everybody back, bruh. So you must have said something, or texted something, or posted something, or emailed me something that piqued my interest. Yeah.
Well, you know, I have a way with words, and I have a way with magnetism.
Right.
The leaders. So you know, dogs recognize dogs. You know, it's we there. So.
Right. And I also thought you might have had a job for me too.
I did.
Like, this brother looked like he can hire somebody. I'm gonna call him back. I mean, look at his glasses. Look at that little bow tie with the little piece of leather in it. I'm gonna call him back. Maybe he'll give me a job. Yes, sir. That's what I said. Yeah.
We're gonna let you go on that one, man.
Well, man, clap it up for Doug. Yeah.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you for being here.